U.S. House of Representatives passed cap and trade months ago, and now Al Gore does not want the Senate to lose focus.
The immediate step now is to move quickly in the aftermath of the Senate's health care deliberations to climate and energy as the next item on their agenda.
But just like health care reform, cap and trade has stalled in the Senate.
The bill is such a turkey that Harry Reid may not even let it come up for the Senate ever. It's not going to be voted on this year, it looks like. Next year's a midterm, and then we're looking at, possible huge increase in Republican seats. This bill may never see the light of day in the Senate.
There will be pressure on the Senate to pass cap and trade before a major climate summit in Copenhagen just 2 months away.
Obama wants to go to Copenhagen saying, we pass this legislation.
I think that it's extremely important that we have legislation passing the Senate and that we get an agreement in Copenhagen.
That agreement would be in the form of an international treaty regulating CO2 emissions around the world that could make a U.S. cap and trade law irreversible.
Once we get something on the books, then they will say that an international treaty will prevent us from repealing or amending it.
Gore insists domestic and international carbon regulation is the best way to confront global warming.
What is important is that directly or indirectly we put a price on carbon, that carbon emissions be recognized. Though CO2 is only one of the 6 pollutants that are the primary causes of the climate crisis, it is the largest. And the mechanisms for securing reductions in CO2 will bring in their wake the ability to bring about reductions in all of the others.
That mechanism could also make Gore a very wealthy man. Gore is the chairman and co-founder of Generation Investment Management. That firm is a major shareholder in Climate Exchange plc, which trades carbon credits. And cap and trade would require companies to participate in trading carbon credits.
These companies, Chicago Stock Exchange, London Climate Stock, all these climate carbon trading exchanges, are all dependent on international treaties and domestic mandates. This is not the free market. This is companies setting up in hopes, crossing their fingers, that Congress is going to pass these draconian bills which are going to mandate carbon markets, and they're poised to benefit. So Gore, who went from a couple $1 million net worth at the end of his vice presidency to now $100 million, and some charging more than upwards to $250,000 per speech, has now got the investment side, is hoping for these government mandates, poised to be the world's first carbon billionaire.
However, Gore never talks about his financial interest in carbon regulation.
The global warming fear promoters have couched themselves in morality. They've taken the high ground. We now have the absurdity of people like Senator John Kerry and former GOP Senator John Warner coming out and saying, we have to act on global warming because this is a national security issue. Gore says it's a moral issue.
Never has a single generation been asked to make such difficult and consequential decisions that will have implications for all succeeding generations.
Even Gore's opponents agree with him there. Carbon regulation would have major consequences on future generations.
There's no cap on China and India and Brazil and Mexico and other emerging economies. So it ends up being a huge transfer of wealth and a huge transfer of jobs away from the United States and other first world countries to the third world. I don't think any of us were elected to vote for that.
But Gore's mind is made up.
The alternative to getting an agreement at Copenhagen is unacceptable. And I choose to be very optimistic about the prospects.
And in just 2 months, Gore will find out if his confidence is well placed. For the MacGyver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.